Good evening. You're watching Rebooting India on NDTV 24/7. I'm Shweta Rajpal Kohli. A day after the CBI named former coal secretary and well-known industrialist Kumar Mangalam Birla in the Coalgate scam, the controversy is now back at the Prime Minister's doorstep, with the former coal secretary questioning why the Prime Minister was not named by the CBI. He says that they have done nothing wrong with the sanctioning of the coal blocks in 2005. He also questioned why the CBI didn't name the Prime Minister since he was the final decision maker.
A man who's been called a whistleblower and now named as accused. I have Mr. P.C. Parak, former coal secretary. Sir, why do you think this has happened? You were called a whistleblower by many people and now you're being named as an accused in this latest FIR.
Very difficult for me to say. This question should be answered by CBI.
The CBI, of course, is saying that in your official position, you exploited your position or rather misused it and gave undue favors.
Well, just to give you a brief idea of the issue about this case, Talabira 2 block was applied for by Hindalco and Neyveli Lignite Corporation. Both of them equally financially strong and technically competent parties. Hindalco's application was first application and Neyveli's application was subsequent. But Neyveli, being a government company of our own ministry, in the screening committee we decided that the block should be given to Neyveli. After that decision was taken by screening committee, Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla made a representation to Prime Minister that this has been an unfair decision for us because we were the first applicant, we are equally competent.
You, of course, explained the circumstances in which the blocks were allocated and what you had recommended. They were speaking about a meeting that you had with Mr. Birla at that point in time, just before this happened. Is that the same presentation you're speaking about, or is it a representation that he had made to you?
No, presentation is different. You see, presentation is made to the screening committee where officers of the company come and make their presentation on their competence financially, technically. But this was after screening committee's decision. Mr. Birla met me in my office. And he made a representation that this is unfair to us and therefore it should be reconsidered.
Was there a similar personal representation that he had made to the Prime Minister as well?
Well, I don't know whether he met Prime Minister or not, but the representations were sent to Prime Minister and PM's office sent those representations to me for consideration and examination.
The opposition, meanwhile, has got fresh ammunition targeting the Prime Minister and saying that he needs to be investigated as well in the coal scam. Let's listen into what Yashwant Sinha had to say.
I am not surprised that the then coal secretary Parak has said that the Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, should be accused number one in the coal scam. The person who finally approved the coal block allotments, how can he escape responsibility and how can more responsibility be put on those who made the recommendation to him? Time has come for Parak to speak up. He has spoken a little. He should come out clean now.
हिंदुस्तान का पूंजीपति लोग और हिंदुस्तान को भ्रष्टाचार सरकार को अमला और पॉलिटिकल लीडर मिल करके किया है. हम चाहते हैं पूरा जांच हो, वही जांच में प्रधानमंत्री को नाम आए तो उनको खिलाफ FIR करना जरूरी है.
And in an exclusive interview to NDTV, Commerce and Industry Minister Anand Sharma has called CBI's decision unfortunate, saying that the overall economic environment is being vitiated and corporate leaders like Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla are held in very high esteem. Both in India and abroad, they are clearly global iconic figures. Shockwaves across corporate India as Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla, a well-known industrialist, has been booked by the CBI along with former coal secretary Mr. P.C. Parak. To talk more about the impact and the repercussions of CBI's move, with me here, Commerce and Industry Minister Mr. Anand Sharma. Many thanks, sir, for sparing time to talk to us on NDTV. Has the decision of the CBI to book Mr. Birla and the former coal secretary taken you by shock and surprise?
Well, this is an unfortunate development because we have a system which is transparent, open, and we have due processes which are followed in decision making. Irrespective of what the specific issues are, there is no denial of the fact that the corporate leaders, including Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla, are held in very high esteem in India and abroad. And they have made their own notable contribution. So the larger question which comes up is that whether we have an environment which is conducive to decision making and also which gives confidence to the investors, to the corporate world.
And that's exactly the sentiment that all of corporate India is echoing at this point, because Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla clearly is one of the most respected leaders of corporate India. He's someone held in very high esteem, is known to actually go by the rule book. So when an investigating agency goes and files an FIR against such a well-known industrialist, someone who is known to be very clean and conservative, there are larger questions being raised on whether the environment is conducive for corporate India to even function now.
No, I will say one thing. It has been a negative narrative, and that has gone on for too long. First, the institutions or the various authorities who have some constitutional duties to discharge should not go for overreach or play to the gallery and create an environment of sensation and shock.